Hello and welcome to ED 584. And what I've put together is a little tutorial video on what I go through when I look at papers to grade. All of the papers for the quantitative research review assignment have been sent back, and with most of the first writing assignments for my courses, I will provide full credit on the first go around. But my expectation is that students will take the feedback, the comments, the suggestions that I make, and that they use that to improve future writing assignments. So what I've done with this video is put together kind of, like I said, a tutorial of what I'm going through to when I evaluate, when I assess papers. So let's go ahead and get in here. I'm going to share my screens. Let's do this first. We'll do share my desktop number 2. Make this bigger. So the first thing when you go in for a writing assignment for me is just go in and familiarize yourself with the criteria, the requirements for the writing assignment. And for this first writing assignment, it called for a 3 to 4 page paper and summarizing and evaluating the methodology of a quantitative piece of research literature, which is related to your interest, your research interest. So to start with, you only get 3 to 4 pages. Anything more than that, and it goes over. And as you read through here, it really it's saying just 3 to 4 pages, nothing more than 4. And it really in here it doesn't say anything about having a cover page. And I saw with several of the assignments that were turned in that there was a cover page, and that cover page put the student over that 4-page requirement. So go through and read what the requirements are, what the directions are. Make sure you know what the formatting needs to be, like Times New Roman. Well, let's go down here. You're following the APA 7th edition, Times New Roman 12-point font, nothing other than Times New Roman or that 12-point font. And then you got double spacing with 1-inch margins around. Now, one of the things that I ran into with the new Canvas is that when you upload your file into Canvas and then I try and download it, it defaults to where it downloads a PDF. And then I had to go in and change that to a Word file. And I found when I then finally downloaded your papers in a Word file, it kind of threw off some of the formatting. So I'll give I give that, and then I went in and then changed formatting for each of the papers to make sure it got into this double spacing and 1-inch margins. Next thing, clarity is expected. I expect to be able to sit down, read an article, not get lost in long sentences. And I'll put it out there. Long sentences with big words without anything that defines big words is problematic. I've been through it. I've been through writing the dissertation. I've been through writing research articles. And those of us who read scholarly writing, we're human. We want to be able to sit down and understand and comprehend what we're reading. And when students provide big sentences, long paragraphs, big words without anything that shows what those things mean or what the purpose, we kind of lose interest in reading that. So I'm now going to go to a paper. It wasn't submitted from this class. And I just want to make sure, get this in the screen. Okay, so here we go. Here is a paper that was submitted from another class. And right off the bat, there's 5 pages. 5 pages, and they included a cover page. So right off the bat, my my recommendation or my feedback is get rid of the cover page because that puts you over. So for the next writing assignment where it doesn't specifically say a cover page is needed, especially for me, that's something that can go away. Next thing, I kind of just scan the paper, come through it, kind of see some things that stand out. The big thing that stands out for me, the first, is there's no organization to the paper. It's just it just goes and provides no organization into sections through the use of headings. So that is the first thing that steps out to me. Next thing I'm seeing is that there are a lot of references. So what I will go through is I will go through each of these references to make sure that they are cited in the paper, So those are the first 2 things that I'm seeing at the beginning. So what I will do for a student is like here, and we're not going to go through each of them, but I'm going to, well, first of all, let me back up. I'm going to go into the body of the paper and make sure we are at, we've got the right formatting as far as your margins. So I'm going to go in here, and what you're going to do, right click, brings up paragraph. Actually, excuse me, I'm off there. What I'm going to do is come up here to layout, and then click on margins. And this is showing that there's custom margins. So I'm just going to click on here, normal, and this will get you to the normal margins. And again, with uploading through Canvas, I found that uploading, it puts it into a PDF, and then all of a sudden your formatting is out of whack. So now I've got the margins. So now the next thing, I'm going to come in and make sure that we're at double space and everything's good to go with the spacing, with hanging, with that indentation for the first line of paragraphs. So I'm going to go in and get paragraphs. Okay, so we got some problems here. And again, this is coming from the formatting that's coming through Canvas. First line. Okay. And then your spacing, you want 0, double space, and now you got it formatted. And the other thing what this student did, they did put page numbers, and that is good to go. There's some other things that looks like need to be fixed here. Fix it real quick as we come through it. This student did a good job. We'll add a, let's see here, we'll add a paragraph here, or not a paragraph, a comma, because a comma comes after that, but they did a good job with the et al. And the other thing, well, actually they did with the first one, but now here's one that is not formatted correctly. There's 4 authors, so this should be et al. And this is a change from previous editions of the APA. With the 7th edition, anytime there are 3 or more authors, use et al. So just quickly look through here. And again, there's some issues here with getting it to the right formatting. Okay. We come down. Now I'm going to go in, and when I review a paper, I'm going to go in and help them with this first paper to get in to put in the organization and the headings. And one of the best things for the headings, use the APA 7th edition. On the front cover, gives a quick guide to the format for the headings. So we'll go in here. You're going to center it, bold, introduction. Then the next one, they're going to go into the research questions. Bold. Let's keep it centered. Okay. And then the next one looks like they're going into the lit review. Center it. You could put review of literature review. For this one, I'm going to put review of pertinent literature. You could put it, actually, I'm going to change that. Put it to related. Okay, then you look through some more, and then there's some issues here with some of the formatting, the citations. Then we're going to go into our next section. Research, design, and methods. Then you're going to go into findings. And then the final one is the conclusion. This is where I ask for a critique. We'll just put conclusion for this. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm looking at the references to make sure that for each reference in the reference list, there's a citation. And then for each citation, there's a reference in the reference list. So the first one we're going to do is look up this one. And you can use the search function. So there should be a citation for 2013 and 2017. And this first one, there's no, this first of all, it's not properly cited. So to cite this, since this isn't parenthetical, you're going to take away the abbreviations for the first name. In APA, you just use the author's last name. And this one, it's either and I'll look it up here real quick. It's either 2013 or 2017. And this author's, the student should have provided which is which. So I think this was the later one. And then this will be the first one. So that's another thing. Just make sure all of your citations in the paper are completely formatted. Then in the next one, the 6 strands of learning science in informal environments. It's kind of out of place there. another thing here is, and we'll talk about verbs now. Your verbs should be in the past tense because the research has already been conducted in the past tense. So I kind of got off track there a little bit, but go through and make sure each of these that are in the reference list are cited. You should, going forward with your final papers, your research proposal, and then your final paper, I should pick it up, and everything that is cited in the paper will be in the reference list, and everything in the reference list will be cited in the paper. Okay, here's another problem. Should have the date here. With just kind of some small formatting things when you're, it says this study is called, this can be reworded, putting the authors, the authors from Texas A&M used a quantitative study to evaluate the perceptions of scientists about their communication skills. So all this could be combined into a shorter, to the point sentence. Again, here's some issues here with citing. Also, there's a quote here, and this is a very long quote. Let's see how many words this is. So I'm going to do a word count. There's 43 words. So here's the other rule of thumb for you in APA. If it is 39 words or less and you're using the quote, you use the quotation marks like this. If it is 40 or more, you put it in a block form. That's in the APA. Just go to the index and look up direct quotes in formatting, and you can go in and see how to format these long quotes. So we got the review of literature, research design. And again, as you go through this, as you do it, look for ways when you're reviewing literature, look for ways to be short, concise, and to the point. Be concise with how you describe their methodology. Be concise with how you report their findings. Here's another paragraph. This is definitely longer than, that's 53 words. So that is not in the correct format. So to correctly format this, actually you would want to lead. So how I would do this. And you're going to need a page number. So in a long 40 plus, you're going to indent 5 spaces on the left. The right stays the same. And there it is for a long quote. My recommendation on these with a long quote, do what you can to paraphrase. Interpret what the authors have written, infer, and paraphrase. So now let's go to the reference list. Some places it shows that the word references is bold. I like to put it at bold just to keep it consistent. APA shows different things, that sometimes it's bold, sometimes it's not. So then the next thing, Go through each of your reference, use the APA, and make sure all of the components, all the elements are correct. And this is correct. The right words are capitalized. The title or the name of the journal is italicized. The volume number is italicized. The issue number is not. And then the page numbers are given. Looks like this author did italicize that comma there. It shouldn't be italicized, but that's a minor thing. And I'm looking through each of these with the new this is a book. With the new 7th edition, we no longer put the location of where it is published. This has a DOI. I recommend with the article you're using, provide the website. If it's a website that you can go on and get into, and there's no paywall, that you click on the link, it takes you right to maybe an information page that allows you to get the PDF. Put that in there. Put that in there. And provide as much information as you can with the citation. Yeah, again, continues to be good. Here's another book. And the proceedings here at the end, that's not for the conference. If there are conference proceedings available, then you will format it similar to a journal article. And in APA, it has the instructions on that. There's also a section on formatting a paper presentation, another way to do it. So either or, you can cite it, the proceedings as similar to a journal article, or you can cite it as a paper presentation. And again, just remember, you have a page limitation. If there's a page limitation, then look at ways to cut down so you get it to the 4 pages. With this one, you get rid of the title page, but if you get rid of the title page, make sure you put your name elsewhere on the paper. One last little thing here. The study is a quantitative. It should be was, because it was completed in the past. Here's this research question that was examined. Was is good, but then there's an is. There was a need because of the past. And here described. Here it's correct, described. So just little things. With APA, with scholarly writing, it's an experiential event. The more practice you get, the more experience you get, the better you are at writing. So those are just some things that I put together to help you out as you prepare for the next writing assignment. As always, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to let me know. Thank you.